The nation is in utter ruin. And understand this is not a time for appeasement and accommodation, not a time to falter. It is a time for faithfulness. And that is what Abijah is understanding and appealing to here. He calls them to the Lord, his word, his law. He sees the situation for what it is, how he's so vastly outnumbered, and his only greatest defense is, I need to stand true to the Lord. There's two areas where repentance is needed in American Christianity. One is the indifference towards the evil in the land. The churchmen have pillared this for 5+ decades in America, that it's spiritual not to be involved in civil government matters. I'm talking about the biggest of churchmen who have thousands of littler churchmen who follow them, saying things like being involved in political matters is, quote unquote, a distraction. That trying to get good laws passed is, quote unquote, mere moralizing. This is a huge problem. The indifference so many have towards the evil in the land. They see what I showed you, what my son-in-law is up against at the school he attends, and they can dismiss that in hand. They'll attach it to either their eschatological charts or all the little slogans they've been taught by their churchmen to think and say so that they can feel spiritual while they're indifferent towards evil. The second area where we need to see great repentance in American Christianity is those who are involved in the civil realm. Those who name the name of Christ keep putting the GOP before the law of God. And that has to stop. That has to be repented of. Charles Spurgeon said, quote, I often hear it said, do not bring religion into politics. This is precisely where it ought to be brought, he says, and set there in the face of all men as on a candlestick, unquote. What do? Continue to build locally. At the municipal, at the county level. Continue to build there. Don't waste your time with the federal beast. I've told you that for 15 years now. It is gone. The state governments are a total disaster also. Here in Wisconsin, we see that for what it is. We must remain engaged there to some level, but build at the county and local level in hopes that at this lower level, it'll keep rising. So many good stories I can tell you. Where I go in and I talk to people about the doctrine of lesser magistrate, they get on fire and they've taken over city boards and they've taken over county boards. As they realize they no longer have the convenience of being indifferent towards the unjust and immoral actions of their government, that they must take a stand. I go out to Michigan this week to speak to men who've taken a stand and have taken over counties there. The idea of joining in the Republicans' wagon is long over. Taking over the Republican wagon is legitimate. Joining them in their political appeasement and accommodation and lawlessness is not legitimate. Here is Abijah, outnumbered badly, 2-1, on an actual field of battle, and we too are outnumbered. The wicked are all around us. And sadly, men hold their manhood cheap. Men in our day lack bravery and courage. We must acknowledge that. They want to appease and accommodate. They want to be liked and not offend. And their churchmen help them hide it all behind soft words sold as spirituality. Our situation could cause us to humble ourselves, brothers and sisters, before the Lord. Our situation should drive us towards the Lord, not to embrace and proffer cheap political advice. Our situation should cause us not to speak appeasement. Our situation should cause us to point men to the law of God. To the law of God. You shall not murder. Homosexuality is a crime, Leviticus. We need humility and we need repentance. We need boldness and we need fortitude, and those are only found in him. We must not fight against the Lord. There's a fight. I'm excited. There's a fight, but only if you stand with the Lord. These are dire times we live in, but they are exciting times we live in. Amen. Put your head to the fight. Put your heart to the fight. Stand with the Lord and do not fight against him. I leave with you as a home lesson. Read the rest of chapter 13 this evening. Let's stand up.